Hello, food explorers and curious travelers. Welcome back to Global Eats Uncovered, your ultimate destination to uncover the fascinating stories, cultures, and histories behind the world's most iconic dishes. If you're passionate about food and love discovering how each dish is intertwined with folklore, history, and tradition, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we're going on a culinary journey to explore food and folklore. Discover the history behind every country's cuisine. Every country has a unique culinary tradition shaped by centuries of history, culture, and myth. Behind each delicious dish lies a story that often speaks to the heart of a nation's identity and history. From the mythical origins of certain foods to the evolution of recipes passed down through generations, every dish has a tale to tell. Let's dive in and uncover the magic and mystery that surrounds the cuisines of the world. 1. Italy, pasta, and the legend of St. Lawrence. When we think of Italian food, pasta undoubtedly comes to mind. But have you ever wondered about the deep-rooted history of pasta and its folklore in Italy? The story of pasta in Italy is surrounded by both myth and reality. While pasta is often thought to have been brought to Italy from China by Marco Polo, this is not entirely true. The origins of pasta in Italy go back much further, with early forms of pasta appearing in ancient Sicily as early as the 12th century. However, it was not until the 14th century that pasta truly became a staple in Italian cooking. One of the most beloved legends surrounding pasta involves St. Lawrence, the patron saint of cooks and chefs. According to folklore, St. Lawrence, who lived in the 3rd century, was known for his love of food and his commitment to feeding the poor. Some believe that the legend of pasta's widespread popularity in Italy was due to St. Lawrence's divine intervention, where he used his influence to spread the art of pasta making across the country. Modern influence. Today, pasta is Italy's most famous culinary export, with countless shapes and varieties enjoyed worldwide. From spaghetti to lasagna to ravioli, pasta is not just a dish but an iconic symbol of Italian culture, celebrated by Italians everywhere and embraced around the globe. 2. Mexico, tacos, and the myth of the corn god. Mexico is famous for its flavorful, vibrant cuisine, with tacos being a universal symbol of Mexican food culture. But did you know that tacos have ties to ancient Mexican folklore? The story of tacos. Tacos have been a part of Mexican culinary traditions for centuries, but the food itself carries a tale of ancient civilization. According to legend, tacos are said to have been created by the Aztecs, who used soft tortillas to hold a variety of fillings from beans and fish to meat and vegetables. Corn, a sacred crop for the Aztecs, is said to be the foundation of the taco. The Aztecs believed that the corn god, Centeotl, gave them maize to sustain their people, and they used this gift in every meal, including tacos. The word taco itself comes from the Nahuatl language, the language of the Aztecs. It refers to the action of folding or wrapping, much like how tacos are traditionally made. The taco has been passed down through generations as a staple food for both the wealthy and the poor. Modern influence. Today, tacos are enjoyed across the globe, with variations that include different meats, fillings, and toppings. From street vendors in Mexico to high-end taco bars in the United States, tacos remain one of the world's most beloved and iconic foods. 3. Greece, moussaka, and the influence of Byzantine and Ottoman cultures. Greece's cuisine is known for its rich flavors, with moussaka being one of its most iconic dishes. But what's the story behind this comforting, layered casserole? The story of moussaka. Moussaka, with its layers of eggplant, minced meat, and sauce, has a deep historical connection to both Greek and Ottoman culinary traditions. Some food historians believe that the origins of moussaka lie in the ancient Byzantine Empire, where dishes similar to moussaka were enjoyed by the elite. However, the modern version of moussaka as we know it today evolved during the Ottoman period, when eggplant, a vegetable introduced by the Ottomans, became a staple in the Mediterranean diet. A popular Greek folk story is that moussaka was originally created by the Ottoman sultans as a royal feast, and was only later adapted by Greek chefs. In the 20th century, moussaka gained further popularity when Greek chefs modified the dish to suit local tastes, using lamb and beef for the meat filling and refining the sauce. Modern influence. Moussaka is enjoyed all over the world, especially in Greece and the Mediterranean. It has become a comfort food symbolizing Greek culinary craftsmanship, blending Ottoman and Byzantine influences into a harmonious, flavorful dish that represents Greece's complex history and culture. 4. Japan, sushi, and the story of Edo, period innovation. Sushi is one of Japan's most recognizable dishes, but the evolution of sushi and the folklore surrounding it tell a story of innovation, tradition, and cultural exchange. The story of sushi. Sushi's roots can be traced back to the 8th century, when fish was preserved in fermented rice in a method known as nerazushi. However, It wasn't until the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, that the modern form of sushi, known as edamazushi, Tokyo-style sushi, emerged. This version of sushi used fresh fish placed on vinegared rice, which marked a departure from the earlier preserved methods. According to Folklore, sushi's rise in Tokyo was influenced by the bustling Edo marketplace, where fresh fish was plentiful, and street vendors started selling nigiri bite-sized pieces of fish, served atop rice, making sushi fast and accessible. The innovation of sushi making during this time helped transform the dish into the global phenomenon it is today. Modern influenced sushi has evolved beyond Japan's borders, with global variations like the California roll and creative sushi rolls. Sushi is now enjoyed by people of all cultures and backgrounds, and sushi restaurants can be found in nearly every city worldwide. 5. China, Peking duck, the royal dish. With imperial ties, Peking duck is one of the most iconic dishes in Chinese cuisine, known for its crispy skin and tender meat. But what is the history behind this royal dish? The story of Peking duck. Peking duck has a storied history that stretches back to the Yuan Dynasty 1271 to 1368. In China, however, it was during the Ming Dynasty 1368 to 1644 that the dish became associated with the imperial court. The technique for roasting the duck to achieve the signature crispy skin was developed during this period, making Peking duck a dish fit for royalty. The dish is said to have been so beloved by the imperial court that it was prepared exclusively for emperors and high-ranking officials. A popular folktale tells of Emperor Qianlong's love for Peking duck, with rumors that he ordered the dish to be served at every banquet, regardless of the occasion. Over time, Peking duck became a symbol of Chinese culinary prestige. Modern influence. Today, Peking duck is served in restaurants around the world, particularly in Chinese communities and upscale dining establishments. The dish remains a representation of China's rich culinary heritage and is considered a true delicacy. 6. India biryani, the Mughal legacy in a layered rice dish. Biryani, a flavorful and aromatic rice dish, is one of the most popular and beloved foods in India. Its history is steeped in the Mughal Empire and the cultural fusion of Persian and Indian cuisine. The story of biryani's origins are often attributed to Persian travelers and merchants who brought the dish to India during the Mughal Empire. The story goes that the Mughal emperors, who ruled over India from the 16th to the 19th centuries, sought to feed their vast armies and royal courts with a hearty and flavorful meal. Biryani, made by layering marinated meat and rice, was the perfect solution. The dish quickly spread across the Indian subcontinent, with regional variations developed in Hyderabad, Lucknow, and Calcutta, each with its own unique twist. The most famous legend of biryani comes from the royal kitchens of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, who was said to have created the dish to feed his army during his campaigns. The combination of spices, herbs, and saffron in the dish made it a symbol of the opulence and grandeur of the Mughal court. Modern influence. Today, biryani is enjoyed across the world, with countless regional variations. Whether it's the Hyderabadi biryani, Calcutta biryani, or the more modern versions served in restaurants globally, biryani has become a dish that unites people over shared love and history. 7. Peru ceviche, a national treasure from Peru's coastal heritage. Peruvian cuisine is renowned for its bold flavors, and ceviche is one of the country's most iconic dishes. But the history of ceviche is deeply connected to Peru's rich coastal heritage and its indigenous roots. The story of ceviche's origins date back to the pre-Columbian period, when the indigenous peoples of Peru would marinate fish in fermented plant juices, much like a natural preservation method. After the Spanish introduced citrus fruits like lime and lemon to the region, ceviche evolved into its modern form. The dish typically consists of raw fish, marinated in lime juice, and mixed with chili, onions, and herbs. Ceviche became particularly popular in Peru in the 19th century, and the country's coastal culture embraced it as a symbol of their culinary identity. The dish is often served with sides like sweet potatoes, corn, and lettuce, and it's enjoyed during national holidays, particularly during celebrations like Dia del Ceviche. Modern influence. Ceviche has become a staple of Peruvian cuisine. Loved not only in Peru, but across Latin America, the dish has also garnered international recognition, with variations found in many coastal cities and fine dining restaurants worldwide. Food as the heart of every culture. From Italy's risotto to Peru's ceviche, the world's traditional dishes are rich with history and steeped in the culture of the people who created them. These dishes are more than just food. They represent the stories, struggles, and triumphs of generations past, connecting us to a shared global heritage. Which dish's story captivated you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Global Eats Uncovered for more fascinating journeys through the world of food, history, and culture.